Unconsistently consistent.
Alrighty. Hello, and welcome back to Inconsistently Consistent. It's the podcast where we kind of talk about whatever the hell we want. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Melanie.
Melanie, it's been so long since I spoke to you. How are you today?
I know. It's been not even 24 hours?
Not
How
even
have we gone this long?
I don't know. It's been not even 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I slept, and then, I was like, why can't I talk to Rachel while I'm sleeping?
I know. I was thinking that too. I mean, I did talk to you last night for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just because, obviously, by the time this episode comes out, it will have been a while, but I can make the announcement. I have a
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend.
Yes, and I approve.
Yeah, she
For
approved
now.
of him for now. And I did confirm with him that we're okay to talk about him on the podcast. He's like, actually, his exact words were, I don't give a shit. You can talk shit about me all you want. And I was like, well, okay. I was like, I'm not going to talk shit about you unless you give me a reason to talk shit about you.
We're still not going to release his name, though, right?
He's okay with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to give him a nickname.
We can still give him a nickname, but he is okay with putting his name out there.
Yeah, but I want a nickname. He's not allowed to have his real name out there. How dare he?
I mean, we can call him by his nickname, even though his real name is going to be out there.
Okay, fine. I guess we'll compromise.
Yeah. You can call him by the nickname, and I'm just going to call him by his name. Probably his
I
Twitch
still
name.
need to find a good name.
Thought we were going to go with a gamer guy.
Right. GG's.
Yes, GG's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unless I find something else. And it may replace it.
That's true.
But for
But
now,
yes,
we're dating GG.
I have a boyfriend. It's official. We made it official last night. Yeah.
Very exciting.
It's very exciting. And now I'm going to have to tell my parents. But by this time this episode comes out, I will have told my parents. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, it's like, I'm not worried that they're going to be like, what? You've been talking to somebody and you didn't tell us type thing? And then my sister's going to be like, I knew. It's just the fact that, my mom doesn't really understand the whole online dating thing. She doesn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to explain that I'm in a relationship with somebody who lives in the US that I have not met face to face is going to be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, well, she should understand long distance.
Oh,
in general.
Her and my dad did long distance for a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not too different, but she probably still wouldn't understand if you met someone on Tinder either, right? So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my sister met her boyfriend through Bumble, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, they know that that's a thing, but it's different when it's like, this website is not a dating website. It's a website where people stream games.
And lots of different things.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying Twitch, right?
Yes, we can say Twitch,
okay.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, lots of people stream on there, bands stream on there.
Mm-hmm.
People play music on there. People do all sorts of things on Twitch now. It kind of started gaming. But, I watched this one called Bose, who was ex Smosh Games, and she does true crime. So every Monday night she does true crime streams, and basically it's watching true crime with the community, and talking about cases and stuff like this, right? So they do a whole lot of different shit on there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So wish me luck for how it goes tomorrow. And
good
I'm saying
luck.
like
Oh,
I'm
tomorrow?
yeah, I'm doing it tomorrow because it's Sunday tomorrow and we do family
Yeah.
dinners. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll be over video, so it'll be easier to tell them over video instead of over text.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where we're
And then
at.
you could be like, oh, I'm having bad connection if they're like not happy. And you're like, oh, oops, I
I
lost the
think
connection. We're
I don't
off.
I don't think it's a matter of they won't be happy. I think it will just be a little difficult for them to like wrap their heads around. Actually, I think my dad will be like, checks out.
You'd be like, yeah, sure, cool.
My dad will be
And
like,
then your mom's gonna be like, but all of the implications.
my dad will be like, cool, what's his last name so I can look him up on Facebook?
Please submit the backgrounder that you did on him so I can approve it.
Yeah, he'll be like, please submit this, and it will just be like I said, I don't think it will go badly. It will just be a lot of questions that they'll be asking, and I have
Mm-hmm.
some of the answers. Some of the answers, obviously, I don't because these are answers to questions that it's kind of like we cross that bridge when we get there,
Mm-hmm.
type thing. Um, I actually messaged Haha and told
Mm-hmm.
him. Actually, I messaged him and I said, "Are you busy?" And he was like, "No." And he's like, "What's up?" I was like, "I have news." And he just wrote in cap, and I didn't answer him for a while because I'm an asshole. Um, let me just scroll up to the message. Yeah, I didn't answer him. I said, "I have news for you," and he goes, "Is it? Did it happen? Answer me." So I just said, "Yes, it happened." So
I'm glad you didn't do that to me.
right.
Because I would bring my bat.
Yeah, we also because we're gross cuteness. We made each other our lock screens on our phones.
Oh, cute.
It's gross.
It's a cute gross.
It's a cute gross, yeah.
It's like the slime putty you play with instead of like toxic waste.
Mhm.
That kind
Yeah.
of gross.
Yeah, that kind of gross. It's like
It's
Play-Doh, and then
gross,
you
but
get
it's kind of cute and
and then you
fun.
get Play-Doh smell on your fingers, and you're like, "Oh, I don't like that." Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of it. Like I said, he's okay. He streams on Twitch. So Melanie looked up his Twitch channel.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me his last name though, because I'm gonna need to check him out on Facebook and do the whole cyber stalk.
Yes, I know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I haven't actually told my sister yet, so this is gonna be.
I'm before Hannah.
It's
I'm
also
before
because
Hannah.
she's currently out for work. So my sister works in the forestry industry, and
No,
she's
don't take this from me. I am number one.
you're number one.
Yes. Don't take it from me. I don't care
Okay,
if she's out in the woods.
okay, you're number one.
She's the number two. I have outranked her, finally.
Yes, you have.
I would like to thank all of my supporters. I would like to thank my cat for always being there
Which
while I
cat?
was number two. Spinelli. Peanut doesn't know what the hell's going on.
No,
She's
that's fair.
inbred.
Yeah, she is.
Yes. The poor thing. She's just like walking around with like the Wii music is the only thing going through her head. That do 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 do
Yeah,
do
but
do do.
not like the actual Wii music. It's the one that's a little off key.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So, Melanie, now that we got that out of the
Speaking
way,
of, just like love and things that never go wrong, what are we talking about today?
yeah,
It's
see,
betrayals.
we're talking about betrayal. Dun dun dun. We are doing a top 10 betrayals. And
Hmm.
you might be like, Rachel, Melanie, what is a top 10 betrayal? Well, dear listeners, a top 10 betrayal is an event that happens that you go, damn, that is in the top 10 betrayals.
I love when people define things by using the actual name again in the definition. And be like, there you go. That's what it means.
But it is an event that there is a betrayal that happens to a character or a animal or a thing, and you go,
Or a
betrayal.
person.
Or I said a person, animal, or thing.
You said a character.
And a
People
person.
aren't characters. Yeah, like,
Aren't we all?
you know, whether it's in media
Mm-hmm.
or it's like a real life thing or a
Yes.
historical thing.
Yeah.
Which is also a real life thing, but it's old real life.
It's old real life, you know, even though
Yeah.
we, in the ripe age of 2023, are going through everything that the early 1900s went through. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Did you say age 23?
I said at the ripe old age of 2023.
Okay. I was like, did you just say that we're 23?
No, we are not 23. We are
Have you
old.
gone backwards?
No, we are
I was like,
old.
no. I got to 28 and I started counting backwards. Because I'm a 30-year-old lady.
We're 30-year-old lady.
No, you're not 30 yet.
Yeah, but I'm close to 30.
Yeah, you haven't advanced to level 30 of life yet.
No, I haven't leveled up my character yet in D&D to level 30.
This is what I call it. I just call it, I'm on level 30 of life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm not 30 years old. I'm not old. I am just on level 30. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I have done so much work to get to level 30, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I deserve it. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
when the bonuses come in.
That's a good question. We'll
When do
figure
they
that
give
out.
me things?
But yeah, we're doing top 10 betrayals. We have some betrayals, and we're going to rank them
Mm-hmm.
from least betrayal to most betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to talk about it and just kind of go from there.
Yeah, and we're building our list together
Mm-hmm.
because I went and picked a whole bunch myself. You went and picked a whole bunch yourself. And we
Mm-hmm.
haven't really talked about them, except that we both know that one of these things is going to be on there
Oh, one of
from
these
the
things.
Marvel Universe.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Should we just start with that one since we brought it up?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. So, my and Melanie's joint suggestion for our betrayal list is Steve fucking Rogers telling Bucky Barnes that he's with him till the end of the line, and then he fucks off and decides to have happiness and abandons his best friend, okay?
Yeah. And this is what inspired this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the whole top 10 part, but
Yeah.
the fact that we need to talk about betrayals because that was such a betrayal. He like the whole time when he's first introduced as
Mm-hmm.
Captain America, and even before that when he's just Steve Rogers, they're all like till the end of the line, till the end of the line. It's like BFFs forever
Mm-hmm.
thing. And then all the way down when it's like Bucky has finally gone through all of his horrible shit. He's on the other side. He's finally like mentally healthy and he's like, "Oh my god, I get to hang out with Steve again." Because the
Mm-hmm.
world is not ending anymore in
Mm-hmm.
Endgame. They've
Mm-hmm.
got that figured out and Steve's like, "You know what? I'm going to say fuck you. No more till the end of the line. I want to go see where the line goes when I go back in time and hang out with a woman that I never even got a date with."
Like they
Right?
they kissed once.
Mhm.
And then he kissed her her niece. He
Yeah.
kissed her niece.
Yeah, and I bet when he went back, he didn't tell her that shit.
I guarantee you he didn't.
No, because he would have had to come back to the future then and be like, Bucky, it didn't work. Actually, to the end of the line again, right? We're still cool?
Yeah. Steve, in this case, reminds me of those people who, when they get a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, blob,
Yeah,
and they just cut everybody off.
yeah.
And
You're like,
then,
friends? What friends?
well, I have no friends. What are you talking about? And then when the relationship eventually ends, because it's not healthy to be codependent on each other, because, you know, It's a
Mhm.
gross thing to be codependent on somebody and not have other people to talk to. It's a whole psychology thing.
Mhm.
And then you come back and you're like, "Hey, how's it going, guys? Remember that time I abandoned you guys for 6 months? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Can we just pick up where we left off? Like, no hard feelings, right?" It's like, absolutely, there are fucking hard feelings.
Yeah. And, like, they don't even get to talk it out,
Mm-mm.
really. It's not like he's like, "I'm gonna say goodbye to Bucky and explain it."
Mm-hmm.
He just, like, disappears. And
Yeah.
then they're like, "Oh, wait, he left the thing so he can't come back."
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they don't even, like, show Bucky's, like, reaction, really, into, like, I would expect him to, like, be, like, internally freaking the fuck out, like,
Mm-hmm.
"You just left me here in the 21st century. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I was
Yeah.
brainwashed as fuck, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'm, like, finally chill. I helped you save the world, and, like, you just left me here with your friend Sam, who I really don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, it's a good thing he has Sam. Thank God for Sam Wilson."
Sam Wilson is a saint and deserves to be protected
Mhm.
at all costs, and I will fight anybody who says otherwise.
Yeah, and Sam Wilson, I don't care who says what, Sam Wilson is the better Captain America because Captain America would never just fuck over his best friend.
That's the thing. They are best friends. They are best friends. Bucky's been with him through Steve's parents dying and everything. They are best
Mhm.
fucking friends. Steve went to
Yeah.
all this goddamn trouble to rescue Bucky from Hydra because he's like, "No, man, he's in there. It's my best friend." And then basically all of that stuff he did for Bucky negated by the fact that he went back and was
You
like,
know what?
Peggy.
You know what?
What?
You remember when he falls off the train?
Yeah.
When Bucky falls off the train
Hmm.
and loses his arm,
Hmm.
um, they never show if Steve went looking.
Mm-mm.
They don't talk about that, do they?
No, they don't. Not at all.
So he just like he went up through all the trouble to rescue him the first time, but then he's like he falls off a train. Yeah, he's probably dead. I won't even
Hmm.
go look for the body. I got shit to do. Like
I have to
he
go
doesn't go
fight
back?
this Red Skull man. Like,
Yeah. I mean like he was Captain fucking America. He could have been like, "Guys, can you send some people over there to go look for Bucky?" Right? Bring his body back. Right? If he's
yeah,
dead,
yeah.
he might not be dead.
Bring
Who
his
knows?
body back so we can give him a proper military send off.
Yeah,
Like,
right? He was a
fuck.
POW. He
Hmm.
was like a decorated soldier, or like he should have been.
He was a
Um,
decorated soldier. He was a sniper. I knew this. He was a sniper. He
mhm,
was a marksman.
yeah, and he was his best friend.
He was his
But he's
best
like, you know
fucking
what?
friend.
I think he's dead. He fell. Yeah, whatever. And then like 70 years in the future, he's like, holy shit, this dude I'm trying to kill on a bridge. That's Bucky. I
Hmm.
should probably, do some friendly stuff now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so like to me, like it's just like, why the fuck did you fuck him up? Fuck that
Hmm.
character up so much.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
bad writing, it's bad characters. Like in terms of who actually got to be Captain America. Like you're trying to make him so this virtuous. We shouldn't be talking about this in so depth right now because we were gonna do a whole friggin' episode on this.
I know. We're going to do a whole episode on this and we're getting into a deep tangent. So we need to cut this off.
We need to cut it off. Okay, it's just screwing over your best friend
Mhm.
um multiple times, pretty
Yeah.
much. So
Okay.
that's there.
All right. I have it
Now,
written down so we can determine where it goes on the list later.
and it's absolutely going on the list. We know
Oh, it's
that. The rest of them
100%
we
going
don't
on.
know.
Yeah, that one's
Um,
definitely we just don't know what number is going on.
okay, let me put one forward now
Okay,
because
okay,
it's kind of like similar.
okay,
It's a best friend thing.
okay.
So, have you ever watched Walking Dead?
I've seen episodes here and there.
Okay.
Mhm,
So, Walking Dead, it follows um it follows a character named Rick Grimes, and
mhm,
he's like a sheriff. He has he's a cop. He has a partner named Shane who's his best friend.
mhm,
So, Rick ends up in a coma.
mhm,
He's in the coma at the start of the series, and like the first episode shows him waking up, and it's 4 months into the zombie apocalypse.
mhm.
So he was left by his best friend in this hospital during that first, like, the apocalypse started. His friend Shane took his wife and child, so Rick's wife and child, and got them out of the city and all that, right? To try to get them safe. So bonus points for Shane. But that's where the bonus points stop. Like, Rick is still alive in the hospital, but in the coma at the beginning of it, before Shane takes the wife and kid and goes. He just, like, barricades the door and leaves them there. And Rick wakes up like 4 months later. When Rick finally finds his family, Shane is fucking his wife, Rick's wife, his best friend's wife. So they're in a relationship now, and he's been like the father to his son, and he's ruling the camp that they're at. And then Rick gets there, and his wife is like, "Oh my God, I thought you were dead. Shane told me you were dead." Yeah. So, like, she thought he was dead, so she goes back to Rick, but Shane is, like, still wanting the wife, and basically, trigger warning, almost sexually assaults her at one point, because he's drunk, in quotation marks, at a place, and she's, like, fights him off.
Damn.
And then he kind of realized what he was doing, but, like, asshole. And, like, so the kid's got his father back, the woman's got her husband back, but she's still got this, like, hang up over Shane. At one point, she ends up pregnant, and they think it's Shane's. She almost aborts the baby, but ends up not doing it. At one point, and then, like, Shane's mental health goes down, 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 down. And he's, like, keeping Rick, like, there's scenes where he's got Rick in the scope of his rifle, like he's gonna shoot him, but he doesn't. He ends up killing somebody to have, like, the zombies attack them, like, cuts their leg so that the zombies eat them, so he can bring back medicine to save Rick's child, who he obviously thinks is his and loves the wife. And then it goes down farther and farther and farther, and he's really hating the fact that Rick is now leader of the camp, and he's second, and then he lost his girlfriend to, you know, her husband. And it ends with he tries to kill Rick. So he, like, got Rick out into the woods looking for something. I can't remember exactly what was happening, but he ends up pulling a gun on Rick, and he's going to kill him. But here, so the betrayal doesn't end there.
Oh, God.
Because Rick's a piece of shit, too. I hate Rick. He's, like, main character of that series, and I fucking hate him. So that's why I gave up watching after 6-7 seasons or so, because I was like, I can't stand this man. I wish he would just get eaten. But that doesn't happen. Anyway, Rick talks him down to put the gun down. Shane puts the gun down, and Rick's like, I will forgive you, blah, 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 all this. Rick pulls the gun out and shoots Shane.
Oh, my God.
Kills him. And you know who's watching? The child.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so he sees his dad kill Shane with Shane's gun down. Like, he sees Shane gonna kill his dad. He talked him down, and then he killed the man that had his gun down. Like, he was gonna put his gun away. And he, like, shot him and then held him down, like Rick did, and was, like, basically talking more shit to him. Like, how dare you do this? You stole my wife. You did all this, and you tried to kill me. Blah, blah, blah. I trusted you, kind of thing. But it's like, he was a cop, and he, like, shot a guy with his gun down. And then his son saw him. So that's just, like, another fucked up friendship.
Yeah, that is a fucked up friendship.
Everybody just blames it on Shane, though. And I'm like, Rick's a piece of shit as well, actually. And there's many, many things that show that over this whole series.
If I'm wrong, because, like I said, I've seen a few episodes, and doesn't his wife die in childbirth?
Yes. With potentially Shane's child?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
this is way
the baby
after
survives.
Shane's dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
the baby survives.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then he's like, I mean, Rick goes on and just screws over everybody
Mhm.
in the entire series. Like,
Mhm.
he steals food, not steals food, but like, he's in charge, and it becomes the Ricktatorship, as they call it. The fans call it, yeah. Becomes a full dictator of everything after he killed Shane, and they got away from that whole situation because there was a giant herd of zombies and everything. He ends up doing a whole lot of shitty things. Like, he killed Shane that way, but he kicks out Carol, who's one of my favorite characters because she went from abused housewife to fucking badass. And like best character arc, right? And she ends up killing a couple people who are dying with the flu that's plaguing the entire group, and it keeps killing people. So she thought killing them and burning their bodies would save everybody else. He kicks her out without a trial, without anything, and just like kicks her out on her own and be like, be a woman out alone with no laws or anything. Have fun with that. But like, he killed fucking Shane. And like a whole bunch of other people. But like, that's not the point of this. The big betrayal is the Rick Shane situation and my hatred for Rick Grimes.
Okay, I can tell. I can tell you have a hatred for both of them. Yeah.
I mean, like, Shane was a piece of shit, but Rick got progressively more and more a piece of shit. And the more, like, almost every decision he makes in the whole series gets people killed or is the wrong decision, just objectively. But he's the main character, so fuck that.
Fuck that.
Okay, we'll move on from that.
Okay.
But I think that's a big one, and it reminds me a little of the whole, like, the best friend situation, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, so the next one I have is a very stupid one, but it's one that makes me laugh because I I did it to my sister.
You're going on the list.
I'm going on the list. I have to.
Okay, what did you do?
So let me give you some backstory. Just 1 second. Hex is in the way. I gotta move her tail. So, yes, Hex. I know. I'm sorry. I touched your butt. So,
how dare you? Betrayal going on the list twice.
Once upon a time, me and my sister lived in the same house, as you do when you have siblings, and she used to be a vegetarian.
Yeah.
And she had cooked herself some nice.
Rachel. What did you do?
She cooked herself some supper, and she had us leftovers, and it was a curry. It was like chickpea curry is what it was. I didn't know that she had made that specifically for her, and she was going to eat it the next day.
Oh, okay.
So
not as bad as I thought.
So I heated it up because I seen the leftovers. I was like, "Oh, this looks good." I heated it up. I ate it. She comes home from work, goes to get it. It's not in the fridge. She's like, "Where's my curry?" And I was like, "Oh, the chickpea one? Yeah, I ate that." And she just looks at me and is like, "I was gonna eat that for leftovers." And I was like, "I didn't know it was yours." Well, you should have known it was mine because it was chickpeas. And every now and then she'll see a video that comes up on like an Instagram reel about siblings eating their food, and she'll send it and she'll just say, "the curry."
Okay.
So that is mine. I ate my sister's leftovers.
Rachel and the curry.
Rachel and the curry.
Betrayal of 2015.
It was like
2010.
I don't know when it was, but it was like it's been a few years, but it still sticks with her. She's still very sour about the fact I ate the curry.
Yeah.
but it's really good. And like I didn't know it was her specifically, so she was very upset. She complained to our parents about the fact that I ate the leftovers. My dad was like, "You should have put your name on it then."
Yeah. When you specifically said that she was a vegetarian,
Hmm.
I thought you were gonna have tricked her into eating something with meat.
No, I would never do that.
But that's where I thought this was going. I was like, "Oh my gosh, Rachel, what did you
No,
do?"
I'm not that evil.
I don't know. I mean, it could have been like accidental
Nah,
or anything, right? Like,
nah.
I don't know. But you specifically said she was a vegetarian. I was like, "Oh no. Oh no."
No, I'm not that evil.
I mean, like, eating her food, I don't think that's as big a betrayal
To her, it
as
was the
killing your best
no,
friends.
but to her, it was the
Yes.
biggest betrayal I could have ever done.
And it's come back up over and
And it
over.
has come back up over the years, and I guarantee you she'll see something on Instagram or I'll see it because I send it to her as well, and it will remind us of the time I ate her curry, and I'll send it to her, and she'll just go, "The curry." Still not over it.
The curry incident.
The curry incident. I think that's a good name for
Um,
it, the curry incident.
I most of mine are I don't have any personal ones
Mhm.
because most of them are not to be disclosed.
That's okay.
Any personal betrayals,
Yes.
but so most of mine are like movies, TV, and stuff.
That's okay.
And yeah, but I did have some like historical people,
Okay.
and one of them was A2 Brute. Hmm. So Julius Caesar. I always remember that line from the Shakespeare play of it.
Mhm.
A2 Brute, because
Mhm.
all of his what were they like cabinet minister
Yeah, there is
people?
cabinet his Senate, the Senate.
His Senate.
Yeah.
All of his Senate turned on him and started and just killed him, just each getting a stab in. And one of them was Brutus, and
Mhm.
that line of A2 Brute. So I thought that's a worth mentioning one, though I
Yeah.
don't know if that's as big as some of the ones that are not real that I just I like more.
I mean, it's still a betrayal because him and Brutus were homies,
Mhm.
and, like, the fact that Brutus was the last one to stab him, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's kind of I mean, your best friend stabbed you in the back.
What was their relationship? He was I thought he was like his prodigy or something maybe?
He was something like that, like, him and Caesar were really close.
Uh he was close to Caesar. Da, 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 da. Yeah, he took a leading role in the assassination,
Yeah.
and I think he was, at least in the play, he was the last to stab him.
Mhm.
And then he ends up committing suicide
Yeah, so,
later.
that, had things work out for you, Brutus? Not very well, it seems.
Yeah.
I guess another historical event we could bring up is, uh, Judas.
I almost put Judas down myself, and then I was like, nah, I've I've got other things to think about.
But yeah, Judas, that's kinda like I think that's, like, one of the original betrayals
Mhm.
is Judas betraying Judas. Judas.
Judas. Judas and Judas.
Judas and Judas. Judas betraying Jesus for 31 pieces of silver, if
Yeah.
my memory serves me correctly from the time I used to go to church.
Yeah, I think it was 31 pieces of silver.
I mean, like, how easily can you sell out your best friend for some money? Like, I'm sorry, but if somebody only offered me 31 pieces of silver to sell you out, I'd be like, no, that's not enough.
What if someone gave you, like, offered you $20 million to sell me out? And
I
there
love
is a
you.
correct answer to this.
I love you. I love you.
And what do, Rachel?
I would sell you out and split the money with you.
That is the correct answer. Very good, very good. Clap, 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 clap.
Oh, hang on.
That is
Okay.
exactly the right answer.
Because I know that's what you would do with me. Hang on.
Thank you. Thank you. That is the way to go. You
Yeah.
sell me out in a not lethal way, and then we split that money.
Oh yeah. No, if they literally if you were just in hiding and they wanted you
Mm-hmm.
for something, like we need her to do this thing for us. We'll
Mm-hmm.
give you 20 million if you tell us where she is. I'd be like, yeah, I'll take the 20 million, but then I'd split it with you. So then we both get 10 million and it works out.
Exactly.
Because I know you would sell me out for 20 million.
To split with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't allow you to be harmed.
No, God no, God no.
You say that like, I just take the 20 and go.
I mean, I don't
You're
know.
like, have Rachel. No. You sell them out and you split the money. It's a
Mm-hmm.
scheme.
Mm-hmm. That's what you do. Allegedly.
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 Allegedly. All right.
I
What's
mean,
your
I also
next?
put down Benedict Arnold because,
Yeah,
he is kind of the original betrayer in history, and like people call people Benedict Arnolds.
they do. They call them Benedict Arnolds, and I think they call them Judases as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Benedict Arnold sold out a fort because he was salty that he wasn't one of the 7 people made general or
Mm-hmm.
major at the time, but he was like a couple months later made got that promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was still salty that he wasn't one of those first people, he's like, I'm gonna sell out this fort for 20,000 euros
Mm-hmm.
and peace.
Mm-hmm.
And got a whole bunch of people killed
Yep, he did.
for some blood money.
Blood money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess another historical one. The Russians blaming the Germans for the massacre in Katyn Forest. I
I
don't know
don't
if
know
you
if I
know
know
this.
about this.
Okay, so basically, this is I think it's in 1942, 1943
Okay.
ish. The Russians have a bunch of Polish prisoners,
Yeah.
and they take them out to the forest, the Katyn forest, and they execute them
Mm-hmm.
because it's the Soviets. And
Mm-hmm.
they blamed the Germans for that. So during the Nuremberg trials, that was actually brought up as part of the war crimes that Nazi Germany committed.
Oh, okay.
The Russians didn't admit it until like early 2000s that they were the ones who took responsibility for it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I
like,
vaguely remember this from history
yes.
courses and classes.
But yeah, so they basically like did that, and literally there's also when the Polish president and like his family and some other members were going to the forest to celebrate the anniversary,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, celebrate the anniversary, remember the anniversary, remember the anniversary. You don't celebrate that because that is dark.
Mm-hmm.
um, but their plane went down, and people thought the Russians shot them down because they had admitted to doing the crimes,
Oh,
allegedly.
yeah. But it was never
It was
determined
never
how they went down,
determined.
right?
No, it wasn't. This was back in
Yeah.
2009 that plane went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember that that plane going down and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, And I think that's where it was like that link
Yeah.
was probably the last time I've heard that stuff.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's kind of, I mean, come on, think about it. Blaming a whole entire country for your own war crimes? Like, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh.
I have one last historical one.
Okay.
But I've got to bring up what I had written on it, or what I had saved,
Mm-hmm.
because it's Robert Hansen, and that name is not such a well-known thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he was an American, and he worked as an FBI agent from 1976 to 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So he held positions in counterintelligence and had access to highly classified info.
Mm-hmm.
So he sold all of that to the Soviets.
Oh, I do know this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still referred to as the most damaging spy in Bureau history.
Mm-hmm.
So he operated under the alias Raymond Garcia,
Mm-hmm.
which is where I heard this in the first place. So he leaked a whole bunch of stuff to Russia, and he received over 1.4 million in return. And this was pre 2000s. So that was a very large sum at that
Mm-hmm.
point. It's gone down considerably how much that's actually going to be worth
Mm-hmm.
now, but it would have been worth more than 1.4 million is today.
Mm-hmm.
So the information was actually invaluable to the Soviets. And it actually got a whole bunch of spies killed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So people that were in the Soviet Union that were spies for the Americans, CIA stuff, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That it got a whole bunch of people killed and a whole lot of other shit. So
Mm-hmm.
they thought the traitor wasn't him for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was this other guy. They thought it was two different people at one point. One was a mole that that was arrested, and they thought it was him, but then because the leak kept going, then they thought it was this veteran CIA agent for years.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody suspected Robert Hansen until around 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And they FBI and CIA jointly obtained documents confirming his role
Mm-hmm.
in all this. And then they kind of did a sting and caught him in 2001, red-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he ended up serving life in prison.
Damn.
But yeah, he was active doing that from 76 till 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he screwed over a lot of people and got a whole lot of people killed, a lot of agents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's messed up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All for
So
money.
it's crazy that people do everything for money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have another one. It's a stupid one. I personally, and I guess this is just because I am an adult and I didn't realize this was an adult thing that you get annoyed over, and I find it hurtful. And
Mm-hmm.
how dare they do this when grocery stores change the label on products you buy?
About this.
Because
I didn't think about doing anything except people, and whether they're real people or characters, but grocery store labels.
yes, because let me tell you a
Oh my
story.
gosh.
I buy the same yogurt every time I do grocery shopping. It is a lactose-free Greek yogurt because
Mm-hmm.
I am lactose intolerant, listeners, so
Mm-hmm.
that stuff makes my butt hurt if I eat regular stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have been buying this yogurt for years, and it is always it has always been a green label. It is a white container with a green label on it that has the name of the yogurt in.
Mm-hmm.
I went to buy it one day when I was grocery shopping, and I couldn't find it because they changed the color on the label from green to orange. And I was so mad that they did this because I couldn't find my yogurt. And I stood in front of the aisle like an idiot for 10 minutes trying to find my fucking Greek yogurt because they changed the color on the label.
I can't find my yogurt. Rachel 2023.
I was so upset that I texted my parents after it. I was like, they changed the color on this yogurt. Why does this upset me so much?
Betrayal.
It's betrayal by the grocery stores.
Oh my gosh.
It still makes me mad.
I just picture you in the grocery store, dropping down to your knees, going, "Why?" Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Friggin' yogurt.
So mad. I'm still mad.
Okay, so the yogurt goes on the list. Right above Benedict Arnold.
They've done it with other things because they've done stuff like my sister's had the same thing happen. Actually, my sister's had it where they rearranged the grocery store and she can't find things anymore. And I'm like, why do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, the rearranging is annoying. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a betrayal.
No, the yogurt label is a betrayal.
Okay.
Betrayal
That's the
for
line.
me.
They betrayed you
They
specifically.
betrayed me because I looked like an idiot and couldn't find my yogurt.
Put that on a t-shirt. Can't find my yogurt. I look like an idiot.
I also want that on a t-shirt, actually. I can't find my yogurt.
I look like an idiot.
Idiot.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh. Oh my. Okay, let's go back to some fictional ones so that you're
Yeah.
not so upset.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so one I had put in here that one that I put in here but kind of applies to like every movie in this series. Scream.
Oh no.
Do you have Scream?
Depends on what you have for Scream.
Billy Loomis.
Oh, Daddy Loomis.
Yes, Daddy Billy Loomis. Because he specifically targets Sydney to start a relationship with her, to get close to her, and then kills her. Well, doesn't kill her, but tries to kill her, right? So he becomes, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Scream, why the fuck haven't you? He becomes one of the Ghostface killers. And he's like kind of the brains behind the operation. Basically. I think Stu is kind of like, background to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? He's like, Billy was like, come on, bye, you're doing what I'm doing. But, Billy Loomis betraying Sydney. I mean, every Scream, though, pretty much somebody is betraying somebody as Ghostface.
Yes.
Right? Not the most recent one, the second most recent one that came out, that was just Scream. Again, they were just like, you know what? The fifth one, I think it was, we'll just call it Scream. We won't go Scream 5.
Yeah.
That one, we had like the return of that type of scenario where, spoiler alert, the boyfriend is one of the killers and targeting Billy Loomis's daughter, who's one of the main characters of that movie. So I think the whole Billy Loomis thing is just Like, it's one of those, like, really good, like, really well-written betrayals.
It is.
Right? It's iconic.
Yeah. I think I remember the first time I watched it and I was like,
Mhm.
Mhm. Yep.
Actually, I kinda knew from the beginning.
Well, of course
I
you
never
did.
trust a love interest.
No. I know. That's why you ask questions and have a bat, allegedly.
Allegedly. But, yeah, I never like, the love interest is, like, number 1 going to be an issue
Mhm.
for when it's a horror movie, when it's, like, a murder mystery. The love interest in any way is going to be someone that gets someone fucked over for
Mhm.
some reason, right? And
Mhm.
it's either gonna be the killer or, like, the main suspect or, like, the red herring.
Mhm.
So, I watched Scream more in, like, the last 10 years was my first time watching Scream.
Mhm.
So, I like, having watched that and having studied so many fucking books and all this and story writing and all this, I kinda was able to call it. The stew part, not as much, though I did
Mhm.
think they'd probably have 2 killers
Mhm.
because of just, like, the time frames and stuff, but
And just, like, the logistics of,
mhm,
like, Billy being with Cindy at certain points, yeah.
mhm.
And, like, Sam's boyfriend being with her at certain points.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's almost like, the Scream series is set in real world, there's no, like, teleportation or anything for, like, a
Mhm.
killer to be, like, supernatural.
Mhm.
So, the logistics of how the killers were to able to be moving around and show up, like, in one area of the house and then down in the other area so quickly,
Mhm.
I was like, either this is like a movie magic thing and it is one killer and they're just gonna be like, suspend your disbelief. But more likely, in a real life scenario, that would be multiple killers.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I was very suspicious of Billy, but I wasn't hard set going, Billy's the killer
Mhm.
from the beginning. I was just like, he's very suspicious.
Mhm.
Something's gonna come up about this.
Mhm.
But I wasn't set to say that he wasn't just the red herring.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, I just thought of this one when you were talking about, who is the biggest piece of shit betrayer
Steve Rogers.
besides Steve
But
Rogers?
number two. Let's talk about number two.
Dumbledore.
Yes.
Albus,
So many betrayals in Harry Potter.
Percival, Wolfred, Brian, Dumbledore.
Wilfred?
Yeah, Wolfred, I think that's one of his middle names.
Mm, I don't remember that.
Wolfred or something like that. I don't know. Actually, let me look this up before I have the Harry Potter fans, aka
Albus, Percival,
Wolf,
Wulfric is what
Wolfric.
it is.
And I
It's
got
like
the names wrong. That's fine.
WLFRIC.
Yeah,
Brian
I got
Dumbledore.
I got the names mixed up. Him. Let's start with the obvious fact that he, spoilers if you haven't watched Harry Potter, what are you doing
Yeah,
with your
where have you
life?
been?
Yeah.
It's the rock they're
Um,
hiding under from Scream.
yeah, really though. You're under the same rock of the people who haven't seen Scream. Let's start with the basic fact that he raised a child to be killed.
Yes. And I forgot that one, but I have some Harry Potter stuff on the list.
Everything he did for
Hmm.
Harry, to Harry, against Harry, I can't think of
With
another adjective,
Harry.
with Harry was basically to bring Harry to the point that he had to be killed because he knew he was a Horcrux. And he didn't tell him.
Hmm.
He didn't bother to try and figure out if there's a
Hmm.
way to suck the Voldy juice out of Harry. He said, nah, nah, nah. Nah, nah, nah. We just gonna have Voldemort kill him.
Suck the moldy juice. Okay.
You like that one?
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. That was a good one.
Like he didn't think of like anything. He didn't think of trying to research to see if there's a way you could unhorcrux a horcrux, or if there's a way, like I said, to suck the Baldy juice out of it. Like, he didn't bother. He just said, well, kid got died, that's too bad.
But also, Dumbledore is just like an asshole in general.
He's a piece of shit.
Right? Think about, like, I had Snape kills Dumbledore on my list.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at it from, like, everybody else in the series not knowing the plan.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh my god, Snape's betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Snape killed Dumbledore. But, and like audience reaction and stuff. But if you think about it, Dumbledore forced Snape to be in that situation. And all those like flashbacks from in the books, and I'm not sure if they went into it as much in the movies, but in the books, for sure, there's a bunch of flashbacks afterward once you find out that Snape wasn't a bad egg kind of thing.
Well,
he wasn't 100% Death Eater all the time at that stage, right?
Yeah.
He was a double agent.
Yeah.
So once you find that out, when Snape is dying in like book 7, I believe.
Book 7, yeah.
You find out that Dumbledore set that up, and Snape said, "I don't want to do this to you. Like, I don't want to do this. You can't make me do this. Don't do this to me." And Dumbledore was like, "You have to fucking do this." And made him. So he set it up to have, like, to corrupt Snape even further, right? And, like, I don't know, like, why? Is that punishment? What is that? Or, like, yes, I guess it's all part of his, like, plan for Voldemort to trust Snape. But it's still, like, fucked with him, right? And everything he did was kind of like to advance his plan. And yes, it was like a save the world plan, but still it was like manipulate everybody around like chess pieces to get there.
Yeah. And let's not forget the fact that he basically allowed for a 14-year-old to compete in a Triwizard tournament that has killed people. And he was kind of like, well, Barty Crouch says there's nothing we can do. Guess there's nothing we can do. And it's like, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, no. And then let's not forget the whole 6th book where he's just fucking avoiding, no, the 5th book where he's just fucking avoiding Harry the whole time. Harry's trying to talk to him and Dumbledore's like, oh, is that Harry? Yikes. You know, like, what the fuck is up with that, Dumbledore? Why are you avoiding him?
Yeah.
And then the 6th books, he's like, oh, Harry, we're all buddies now. Ha ha.
And let's just not forget the fact that he's a terrible headmaster.
He is an awful headmaster.
How many children or anybody has died in that building since Dumbledore took over, right? Like, he's beloved by the students, most of them, right? But like, he's like, I keep hiring people that end up to be totally evil and trying to murder everybody. Right? And then like the Chamber of Secrets gets opened. And he's like not immediately like, okay, we need to clear out this school and save the children.
Yeah.
He's just like, go back to your beds.
He's kind of like, well, YOLO.
He's like, make sure you go to classes and make sure you go to bed on time, and so that this, evil snake can get to you and knows where to find you. If you make it harder for him, I'm going to be so mad.
And let's not forget, because this still irks, I think this irks everybody in the Harry Potter universe. Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? He asked calmly. Calmly.
That I didn't attribute to Dumbledore. I have attributed that to either the actor not doing it right, the director not following it, or the friggin' writers. Right? That's a betrayal.
That's still going
in the people that made this movie.
It's still going in the betrayal.
Yes, it's still a betrayal.
I
But
could
I
go
have
on
some
about.
betrayals by writers here. And it's like this movie or this series, and it's like the writers.
I could go on a rant about all the Harry Potter betrayals, especially because they left out the goddamn fucking Quidditch match in the fourth book.
And all the friggin' Quidditch they cut.
I
That's
wanted to see the
awesome
Quidditch.
stuff. Like, they put in so much, like, stuff they could have cut.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh god. And, like, the friggin'. Okay, we should just do a whole episode on
I think we
the
need to
shit
do a
that
whole
went
episode
wrong with the
on Harry Potter, but Harry Potter issues, because this we are gonna go over if we stay on this one topic, because I
Yes,
have
we
so
are.
many gripes with this.
Because one of the things I do want to talk about at that point is going to be the Yule Ball shit.
Don't.
Because there's so much fucking terrible shit with that. But okay, let's just keep Harry Potter at Dumbledore
Yes.
for this one. I did also Mad Eye Moody being Barty Crouch Jr.
Yeah.
But it's less of a betrayal as more of like a shocking turn of events for like readers and audience members, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay. I guess, I mean, another
let's move
quick
away
one.
from Harry Potter, maybe.
We got to move away because we can do a whole episode. So we'll have to do a whole episode on our gripes with the Harry Potter, because I have gripes about Sirius as well.
Oh no.
Okay, but we
I
need to
love
move on
Sirius.
from. I know, I love him
He's
too,
a
but I have
dog.
grapes. I have grapes. Okay, we need to move on. Give me another one.
Okay. Speaking of bad writers, Pretty Little Liars. Have you
My
ever watched
fucking.
this?
Oh.
So it was going so well for them. They were doing so good with this series, right? Writing it. They stuck to the books, and I didn't really read the books, but I know what happens a bit. So the books, like having Mona be A, like as one of the A's in the beginning, and then the fact that they ended it the way they did, and they fucking screwed up everything. Okay? Do you know how it ends?
Yes, Spencer has an evil British twin.
Yeah. The fucking cop out there with, oh no, it's not one of the girls, and it was so set up to be Arya. It would have been an excellently ended series to end it with Arya has been A the whole time, or one of the girls at least, but Arya especially, because I believe that's how the books went. And like, I know she was like one of the most beloved characters, and like some mostly like everybody's favorite in general for like the majority of the population. She was my favorite, and like as much as I hate watched everything, but like still like she was my favorite of the four, like the four core. But they just copped it out, and I was like, it's gonna be Arya. They're gonna make it one of the girls. I'd be happy with anything. I'd be happy if they had just brought in any of the characters that had been regularly shown throughout the series to be there. But no, they had to go and be like, evil twin time.
An evil twin. That British accent. Hello, sister.
Hello, governor.
Hello, governor. See, the
Did
thing
you
is,
like what I did?
I stopped watching when it got weird, okay?
I
But
kept going. I wanted to
watched,
know.
there's a guy that does like an in-depth, his video title is an unhinged recap of Pretty Little Liars, so I watched those videos so I know what happened. But legit, that hello, sister.
Such bad writing, first of all.
Bad acting.
Yeah, but I mean, see, I can get over that, and more than I can get over the shitty writing. That is like if Harry Potter ended by by Voldemort and Harry shaking hands and being friends.
I would.
And going out to a diner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like played like some shitty sitcom music at the end,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like, what the fuck did you do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You just shit the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I have just a huge problem with the writing of that. That like they were aimed so well in terms of who they could have picked to be Endgame for who's been behind this the whole time. Even with all the weirdness, it would have tied it up into like, okay, it was worth watching even when it got as fucked up as it did to get to a point of, okay, say Arya was the whole time, because you could go back and rewatch and be like, can I figure this out? But this whole evil, stupid twin thing, it's like, okay, what the fuck did you do?
They were not thinking is what they did.
Oh, there's another one. I just thought of it. Oh my gosh. We need to do like
we might have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
But anyways, I have another one that
there's one from The Mentalist, which I was also really The Mentalist. Oh my god, Lost. Have you ever watched Lost?
I haven't watched Lost, but I've heard enough about Lost to know that the ending,
Even worse than Pretty Little Liars now I think about it. Because they're just like, you know what? We won't answer any of the questions that all the fans have and all these mysteries we've set up. We're just going to say, you've been dead the whole time.
That's a cop-out. That's a huge cop-out.
Huge fucking cop-out.
There is one obvious one that we're missing, though.
Okay.
Jack and Rose.
I didn't think of them, but I should have.
There was room on the goddamn door.
Yes. And even if there wasn't, she could have went in the dang lifeboat. And then Jack could have had that door all to himself.
There was room. Did you see how big that
room.
goddamn door was? There was fucking room for both of them. She was just being a selfless little bitch and didn't want to let him on the goddamn door.
Yeah. They should have at least tried.
They should have tried. Yes, you're in the Atlantic and it's April, but you could have tried. You could have tried.
She might as well have just put her hand on top of his head and go, bye.
She might as well just literally shoved him under and held him there.
Yeah, it would have been kinder.
Yeah. There was room on the door.
It would have been quick.
That would have been less painful than freezing to death in the Atlantic Ocean. You know what? I bring this one up because I don't know if you've seen. I'm assuming you've heard about the 5-person sub that.
Oh yes, yeah.
But there's been so many memes about it. I'm going to hell for laughing at all of them.
I haven't seen the memes.
They're all over TikTok. There's one in particular that it was like Jack when he sees that 5 people fit into that small stub and he apparently couldn't fit on the door, and I was like, there was room on the door. She just didn't want it. You know what? She didn't love him. She didn't love him.
No.
If she loved him, she would have let him on the door.
Mm-hmm.
I get he was trying to be a gentleman and keep her safe, but she should have been like, no, there's room. Come on the door with me, my love. We can cuddle up to keep warm. That's what you do when you fucking love somebody, okay? You let them on the goddamn door.
Yeah. That's not a romance movie. That's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy. It is not romantic. Yeah, they fucked in a car. Who hasn't fucked in a car? I fucked in a car. It's not very fun.
It might have been more fun if you had cars as big as they had back then.
It's true, and it also would have been fun if the person wasn't 6'2", okay?
So you needed a really big car.
And yeah, my Ford Fiesta, it was very awkward.
Got in that one. It's so tiny. It's like a little metal coffin. And there'd be room for 2 in that. Just like the door.
Just like the door. There's room for 2.
You can fit a 6'2" man in your Ford Fiesta and successfully fuck him. Jack could have fit on that damn door.
If I fucked in a Ford Fiesta with my ex who was 6'2", Jack could have fit on the door.
Yeah. And you know what? Rose was a piece of shit. He should have pushed her off the door and taken the door for himself. And been like, you were offered a lifeboat. Damn it.
And
You
she
chose not to. You
chose
can
not to
have
go
the
on it
C.
because I love him. You don't fucking love him. You've known him for what? Like a week? Maybe?
Yeah, and if you really, it's like puppy love. It's infatuation.
It's
And
lust. It's not love.
yes, it's infatuation, right? It's that
Yeah.
lust infatuation, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
ooh, I'm so just like all the chemicals are going in my brain and it's real fucking hot, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, I mean, if she had gotten on the lifeboat in the first place, then Jack would have been able to figure out what the fuck he does for himself,
Mm-hmm.
right? He could have fit on that door. He might have not even been on the ship at the time it was going down,
Mm-hmm.
right? We don't know how it would have worked out.
Yeah.
But
We don't.
she selfishly didn't go on that lifeboat because she wouldn't be separated from him. And then he had to think about both of them
Mm-hmm.
and how to get both of them to safety. And then he sacrifices himself to save her at the end.
Because she's selfish.
Yeah. Her decision caused that dominoes to fall that way.
Her
The
decision.
deadly dominoes.
There was room on the door.
We need to do a whole episode of this like stupid shit like that because also people love Romeo and Juliet. I fucking hate it. They're like, oh, it's so romantic. And I'm
It's
like, first of
not.
all, they're like fucking 12.
First
And
of all,
second of
they
all,
are
it's
14
called
and 12.
yeah. Second of all, the actual full name of it is The Tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. It is not one of Shakespeare's romances. Right there. Poof. Mind blown. Everybody shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She
But
knows. She's
yeah,
an English
I
major.
digress. I
She's an
digress.
English major. She knows this.
I know. I've read too much Shakespeare. I literally have a gigantic book of Shakespeare's collective literary works. Okay? I've read the majority of them. I fucking know this.
Mm-hmm. She does.
Let's go a different route.
Okay.
I'm getting worked up.
Me too.
Let's go with a classic
Okay.
from our childhood. The
All right.
Lion King. Scar kills Mufasa. Because he just can't wait to be king.
You know what? That is like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He kills
Long.
Mufasa, and then he screws over his nephew and says, "You're gonna be, oh, you little baby child. Oh, they're gonna blame you for killing your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna be, oh my God, you're gonna go to prison or something,
You're
like
gonna go to
lion
lion
prison."
jail.
You're gonna go to the lion jail. So
You're
now
gonna go to lion
run the fuck
jail.
away. Hopefully they don't die. But then I'm gonna have all the hyenas try to kill you as well.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna have the hyenas hunt you down because, aha!
Yeah, because he's jealous of a child.
He is jealous of a child.
Mm-hmm.
A child. But also,
Yes.
like, I mean, Scar.
I mean, he is an excellent character.
Oh my god, yes. Jeremy Irons, love him.
Yeah. That, like, the writing in that was
Mm-hmm.
excellent.
Mm-hmm.
They probably should have taught some things to some people, like maybe Pretty Little Liars or Lost or
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
Mentalist. That one is another one. I'll get into that with you on another day.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do one on like bad writing
Yes.
or
Yeah.
just like, cop outs, right? But right there, if that was like an excellently written story, but Scar has one of the like
Mm-hmm.
worst betrayals on film
Mm-hmm.
as a character for him to do that to his family.
Mm-hmm. You talking about that reminded me of one, and it is gone from my brain.
Is it Disney?
It was another Disney one, but it's
Okay.
gone.
Is it childhood Disney? Like,
Yeah.
we need to do a whole Disney episode.
We need to do a Disney episode, yeah, because so on a side tangent, we've been like, my friend Haha, who is a
Mm-hmm.
Twitch streamer, in case you guys didn't know, he does a movie night in his Discord every Saturday. So we've been watching like lots of Disney movies and everything because
Mm-hmm.
there's some people who like haven't seen Toy Story and who haven't seen Hunchback of Notre Dame and all these other movies, and I'm like, what are you doing with your life?
Me?
I know. So we watch Hunchback, and Hunchback is like my top. If you ask me, Rachel, what is your top 3 favorite Disney movies? It is Hunchback of Notre Dame, Mulan, Hercules, and I know it's technically not a Disney movie, but Anastasia is up there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love Anastasia. The soundtrack, beautiful. Once Upon a December, beautiful. In the Dark of the Night with Rasputin, beautiful. But yeah, we've been doing that. We're watching
My
Toy Story
problem
2
is
today.
I don't remember what ones I've watched. Like, my memory's already shit. And then spoiler alert to people, I have childhood trauma and I have amnesia from parts of it. So I forgot a lot of what I've watched. Like, I know I owned Anastasia on VHS, but I have no idea what it's about or what happened in it. I just don't remember it. So I've been back in like the nostalgia and watching some Disney movies. So I ended up like watching The Lion King recently and watching Pocahontas. I love Pocahontas. Such a great soundtrack.
Pocahontas is a good one. Yes, that soundtrack is good.
Yeah. So I really want to go back and watch stuff and see if like have I ever watched this? Because I also think I owned Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I don't remember it.
What is the one I was thinking of? It was another Disney one.
Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Snow White?
No.
Sleeping Beauty?
No.
Don't kiss people while they're asleep?
I mean, that's an ask for consent. It's 2023. No, it's gone. It was in my brain for a minute, and now it's just like, wee. I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe it'll come back.
It might come back, yeah.
Do you have anything else? I think you're missing one from a show we both loved.
Which one
but
am
hated
I missing?
The ending of
Game of Thrones.
What big betrayal was in there? I mean, like there's like every episode was a betrayal.
Where do you want to start?
Well, the writers, but we'll do that on another episode. But Red Wedding.
Oh, I know, and it was from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Actually, Jamie leaving Brienne for Cersei.
Yeah, but the whole Jamie Cersei thing, like, we understand. You can't stop fucking each other.
But
Fine. Go do that off screen, please.
Here's my issue with this, and I know it's down to the writing, but I'm still going to complain about it because it's a betrayal. He had one of the best character arcs in the show. He really did, because I hated him at the start of the show. I really did. Could not stand him. And he went through such growth and everything through the show that I ended up rooting for him.
Yeah, especially that friendship with Brienne.
Oh my god, the friendship with Brienne, and then the fact that he went to Winterfell to fight, and he told Cersei, like, I'm going to fight because like those things are scary, you know? Like it's just
yeah. And then
then he
go back to Cersei and that bullshit again.
And then he ruins it by being like, but my sister and a baby. Bleh. Disgusting. Disgusting.
There's so many we could do from that.
And then, of course, the Red Wedding, as you mentioned. Like, that was...
Yeah. Red Wedding, it's less of a betrayal, because I feel like for a betrayal to be a good one, you need to have some type of connection between the person being the betrayer and the person getting betrayed. Right? Like, that is why the whole, like, the Walking Dead Rick and Shane thing worked so well for, like, you know, a friend betraying them. And then the Lion King, Scar kills Mufasa and, you know, screws over Simba as well. But, like, that connection, that history has to be there. Even, like, Scream with, like, Billy Loomis, right? He built this history with Sydney. And then that turn that you see on screen and had that shock factor for audiences when he's unmasked to be like, that it has to be gut-wrenching in writing, in this actual story of it, to be like, how fucking dare you to be a like a chef's kiss betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
So ones that don't get to that level, that are more distant in terms of like the Red Wedding, it's like, yeah, he didn't, like Robb Stark didn't go and marry one of Walder Frey's daughters,
Mm-hmm.
but that connection wasn't so close,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more just this like shocking turn of events,
Mm-hmm.
like a plot twist more than a betrayal to me.
Mm-hmm.
But like everywhere I found online, they're calling it a betrayal, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's more just like a big shocking moment.
It's not really a betrayal. Another betrayal, I guess you could say, from Game of Thrones, even though like she totally deserved it. Jon killing Daenerys.
Yeah, and Daenerys killing everybody.
And Daenerys killing everybody, even though they rang the bells.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
one is more of a betrayal to me, because it's like they had this connection.
Mm-hmm.
Their family that fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But like they had this like relationship, and she completely trusted him, and then he betrays her.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, but it had to happen
Mm-hmm.
because of the way they wrote that fucking story. But that's going in our, we're doing like an episode on like everything wrong with Game of Thrones.
We we were talking about Game of Thrones the other day in the voice chat, and everybody's the ending. But yeah, we're gonna have to do an episode on Game of Thrones and talk about everything that's wrong with Game of Thrones, because there's so many things wrong with Game
Mm-hmm.
of Thrones.
Everything that pissed us off.
Everything that pissed us off. Yeah. Okay.
I'm jotting down some of these. Everything wrong with Game of Thrones.
Okay. I don't have any more.
Oh, I can go for hours. So let me give you the best ones.
Okay.
Some honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
We watched the Blair Witch Project for the podcast.
We did.
Mike threw away the map.
Yeah.
That was a big betrayal. Like, they're out there stuck in the woods. They're lost. They have no idea what they're going to do. And they think they're being haunted by crazy shit. And they throw away the map. Right? Mike throws away the map and they all lose their shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get Out. Rose. Another Rose who's a betrayer.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Get Out?
No, I haven't. So you can. I'm not gonna watch it though. You can spoil it. So.
Oh yeah. So Get Out. The premise of I think his name was Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris is black, Rose is white. Rose is like, I've never brought home a black man before as to my parents to meet. So takes him back to meet her parents. Actually, the whole family and the whole fucking town is like scooping out the brains of black people and inputting the like dying white person's brain. So it's like, yeah. It's like science fiction meets horror.
Okay.
So it's excellent movie.
Mm-hmm.
But Rose was in on it the whole time. So she pretended that she'd never had a boyfriend that was not white,
mm-hmm.
and brings him home to her rich white family.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so rich, they have all these medical procedures to
mm-hmm.
like use the young, healthy black person's body and switch their old, dying white human brain into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he was entrapped, basically. And he ends up getting away, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure now how it ends. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
But that like betrayal of like your significant other, I think they were living together, they said I love you, all this, and like she ends up setting him up to die.
Mm-hmm.
With no remorse.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually finds pictures of her with other men in the past that are not white.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think some of them are like ones he's seen around town, because, they've been like body replaced.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a brain transplant shit happening. But excellent movie.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done. Jordan Peele. Very good. Also, just honorable mention, if you ever watch Vampire Diaries, like
Yes.
everything Damon did.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the bigger ones was him killing Lexi, his brother's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother seeing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it was premeditated by Damon because it was part of like a scheme he was pulling.
Mm-hmm.
And, he stabs her and she goes, "Why?" So, pretty solid. Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
Sam starts the apocalypse because he's like in a relationship with a demon and she tricks him.
Mm.
So, like, betrayal on her part towards
Mm-hmm.
Sam
Mm-hmm.
because she like got him into this relationship and got him starting drinking like demon blood to like advance his powers and shit in
Mm-hmm.
order to make him start the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam also betraying Dean by refusing to take any of Dean's advice or anything because Dean's like, you can't trust her, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And going behind his back and then ending up starting the apocalypse and almost, ending the fucking world.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just a out of left field one. If you've ever seen the movie Atonement
No.
with Keira Knightley,
No, I haven't.
there's Keira Knightley's character, Cecilia, is like in love with this man named Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a soldier. So it's like set in like the 20s maybe, or not the 20s. I'm just going by style, but no, I think it was World War One.
Okay.
So
So
even
like the
earlier.
1910s
Yeah.
or something, yeah.
So it's probably like turn of the century at the time when the movie first takes place, maybe. Like very
Mm-hmm.
early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's pre-war. And Cecilia's little sister, Brioni, and Cecilia's played by Keira Knightley. Brioni's played by Saoirse Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
As the like in the present day. It goes to the future later. But at that time, Brioni loves Robbie. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
obsessed. And she finds these letters and then catches them together and considers it a betrayal to her. So
Mm-hmm.
she ends up when she catches them together, she ends up telling her parents that Robbie assaulted Cecilia.
Mm-hmm.
And Robbie goes to jail. And eventually he dies in the war, never being able to be returned back and get back with Cecilia, who still loved him and knew he was innocent in all this. And Cecilia dies in a Blitz bombing. So that's
Mm-hmm.
like before they can ever be reunited, but it's not said kind of when that is or anything. It's just kind of told in that. And the whole story is actually told from Brioni's perspective as in the future when she's like in her 80s. And she wrote a happy ending for them
Mm-hmm.
of them getting back together, him coming back from war and meeting Cecilia again and getting back together, and her confessing to Cecilia that she was the one that made up this lie and did
Mm-hmm.
this, and Cecilia forgives her and all this shit. Turns out none of that happened because Robbie died in the war, Cecilia died in a Blitz bombing, and Brioni is writing this story to try to make up for it and her guilt. So that was like, that's why it's called Atonement, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to atone for what she did by giving them a happy ending on paper.
Okay.
When she screwed over her sister and the man that she loved, even though she was only like 11, but she thought this guy was amazing and was like betrayed because her sister was dating him.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a pretty big betrayal, but it's a movie I saw once and I've like never seen it again.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just not my style.
Yeah.
But back when I had a Keira Knightley obsession.
Yes.
Watching her in Pirates of the Caribbean and be like, I need to see her in everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, how are we going to cut these down?
Alrighty. So, we know Steve and Bucky need to go on the list.
Yep, they're going on, and they're
What
probably not
number?
close to the top.
What number? Top 3?
They're going top 3 for sure.
Or do we want to put it number 1?
put them up number 1 right now, and we'll see.
Okay. All right. Steve and Bucky. All right. Number 2.
I don't know what should be number 2.
I think number 2 should be.
You say yogurt.
It's not the yogurt, don't worry. I was thinking either Jack and Rose or Game of Thrones.
I put Jack and Rose.
Jack and Rose?
Number
Okay.
2.
All right. Game of Thrones number 3?
But what specifically were we talking about with Game of Thrones, or just all the betrayals?
All the
Is it
betrayals.
the Jamie Brienne, Red Wedding, all of this stuff?
I kind of want to go with the Jamie Brienne one specifically.
Yeah. Put it as number 3 and we might shuffle.
Okay, yeah. So Game of Thrones. All right.
I think Lion King, Scar kills Mufasa, needs to be in there as well.
Yes.
So maybe let's just get it to 10 and then we'll shuffle.
Okay. So Scar. Yep. Okay, I'll just circle the ones we're going to do then. So, and then we'll do the list after. Okay. So,
what about, I think Scream.
Yep.
Bailey Loomis one needs to be in there.
Dumbledore has to be in there.
Absolutely. Just Dumbledore in general.
I feel like because you were so passionate about it, Shane and Rick.
Yes. Shane and Rick.
Pretty Little Liars.
Shane and the Prick.
Oh. Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah. Pretty Little Lighters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty fucking shit.
No.
I retire. Yeah. Pretty Little Liars. The writers.
Mm-hmm.
The whole writers. Whoever's in there. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I kind of want to, because it's stupid, I want to put the curry incident in there.
Okay, curry incident.
Because I feel like
that's making our list.
My sister would be like, I feel vindicated.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? It fits the definition, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 people with a connection, and one screws them over. I think that's what makes like a good betrayal. Mm-hmm. Not that betrayals are good, but like
you know what I mean.
That's meets the definition.
Mm-hmm. I think because it's like we have to put Brutus in. He's one of the original.
Yeah.
A2 Brute. Yep.
Iconic line.
Yeah. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10.
Oh, we have 10?
So we've got Steve and Bucky, Shane and Rick, the curry incident, A2 Brute, Scream Boyfriend Killers, Dumbledore, Pretty Little Liars, Jack and Rose, Scar Mufasa, Game of Thrones. Let me just double count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, we got 10. All right. Now comes the part of determining, and this list, listeners, is the official top 10 betrayal list.
Yeah, there's no other opinions allowed.
There's no other opinions. Once this is set in stone, it's done.
Number 11 is definitely yogurt, though.
Yes, number 11 is definitely yogurt.
Where's my yogurt?
I think number 10 should be the curry incident, just because it's silly. Okay, so number 10 is the curry incident.
It also didn't leave like a lasting effect, right? No. Like, I mean, like, yes, your sister brings it up constantly, but it doesn't have a lasting effect like, Rick killing Shane or Steve going back in time and never, like, basically having contact with Bucky again, basically.
Yeah.
Like, leaving Bucky to live the rest of his life without him, kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. Number 9. What are we thinking?
So I think number 1 for sure needs to be Till the End of the Line.
Obviously. Steve and Bucky is number 1. Again, this list is set in stone. We will not
accept
change.
Other people listing honorable mentions or your own list, but you will be incorrect.
You'll be very incorrect.
Keep that in mind.
Just, you're entitled to your opinion even though it's wrong. Okay.
I know Scar kills Mufasa needs to be in top 5.
Top 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dumbledore, just because there's how many betrayals, I think that also needs to be up in the top 5.
I think so as well.
Do we have a top 5 right now?
We don't. We just have Steve and Bucky right now. So we're mentioning Steve and Bucky's number 1. Dumbledore needs to be in there. You said Scar and Mufasa needs to be in there. So that's 3 that we can put in the top 5. We just got to figure out which order we want to put them in.
Yeah. I think Pretty Little Liars needs to go lower.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like the writers and the audience, like, that's, it's less of a betrayal and more of just stupid writing.
So we want to say number 9 for that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Poke that down.
All right. That seems fair.
I feel like Rick and Shane needs to go no lower than 6.
Okay.
For me.
Let's do Shane and Rick. I'm okay with that because you were very passionate about it.
I would like to try to move that up into the top 5, but like no lower than 6. Because I feel like just the amount of betrayals, like Dumbledore, like Shane had so many betrayals. Rick had so many betrayals. Right? And like somebody dies out of it. So I feel like it's a heavy one. I feel like Game of Thrones should go up high as well. Just because I'm thinking not just the Jaime Brienne thing, but like all the little bits. Because there's so many betrayals happening in Game of Thrones. There's just, and the writers betrayed us as well.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, George R.R. Martin betrayed us, and so did. But this was his story. He told them.
I know, but still,
he told the TV writers that this is what's going to happen, so you can finish the friggin' series.
I feel that
like, sloppy as fuck. Mad King to Mad Queen.
Yeah, I know. I feel that Game of Thrones should be higher than Shane and Rick because it's fresher.
Yeah.
And it's talked about more. So I think Game of Thrones.
Both share.
Yeah, I think Game of Thrones should be number 5.
Okay.
And we can leave Shane and Rick at number 6. Okay.
What else is on the list? Because you're the one looking at it.
So right now, okay, so the ones that are not anything on the list, we've got A2 Brute, Scream Boyfriend Killers, Dumbledore, Jack and Rose, Scar and Mufasa. The last ones to place on the list.
Okay.
I don't think A2 Brute is top 5. Just because we have other ones.
I don't think so either.
So I'm okay with putting it at like 7 or 8.
Let's go 8 right now, and then we can shuffle it if we need to.
Okay, A2 Brute. Jack and Rose. I don't think that's like. Would that be top 5 though? I don't know.
I think it's like middle of the pack.
Yeah, so number 7.
Yeah, so let's put it at 7, and then we'll see.
Okay, Jack and Rose.
Dumbledore has to go up in that top 5.
Now, we've got 2, 3, and 4 left.
Everyone.
Yes.
So who do we have to place? Dumbledore,
Scar and Mufasa, and Scream Boyfriends.
Okay.
I don't feel Scream Boyfriend should be as high as it is. Based on the list.
No, me either now.
So I feel like maybe we move Game of Thrones up to 4, Shane and Rick to 5, and put Scream Boyfriends at 6.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
And then Shane and
'Cause I
Rick make
think,
top 5.
yeah, I think Shane and Rick, is more Shane and Rick the Prick. Need to be up higher.
And now we are down to Scar and Mufasa and Dumbledore.
Okay, and we've got number 2, number 3 open.
2 and number 3.
Okay, this may be controversial,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd like to put Dumbledore at 2.
I was also thinking Dumbledore should go higher.
Mm-hmm.
If Steve and Bucky weren't on the list, I would put Dumbledore at number 1.
Mm-hmm. Because he did screw over a child, right? He set the child up for death. He basically had a plan this whole time and was like, I'm not telling anybody about this, and I'm just going to make everybody pawns in my scheme, and like force people to go through horrific shit, whether or not they deserved it.
Exactly. So here is the top 10 betrayals as decided by Melanie and I. We will take no questions. We will take no complaints.
We will take comments.
We will take comments and honorable mentions, and that is it. Number 10 is the curry incident. And Hannah, if you listen to this, I'm not sorry. That curry was delicious.
And come on, minor betrayal.
Minor betrayal.
Right? Minor betrayal.
Minor
It
betrayal.
was an
The amount of
accident.
times
It wasn't even intentional.
The amount of times you have scared me makes up for the fact that I ate your curry. And she jump scares me. She pops out of doors and scares me and records me.
See, that's a good way to get punched.
That is a good way to get punched.
Anyone jumps out at me, I'm swinging. It's just, it's instinctual.
Yeah. Okay. So, number 9, Pretty Little Liars. Number 8, A2 Brute. Number 7, Jack and Rose. Number 6, Scream Boyfriend Killers.
Yep.
Number 5, Shane and Prick.
Shane and the Prick.
Shane and the Prick. Number 4, Game of Thrones. And we're going to do a whole episode about Game of Thrones. Don't you worry.
Oh, yeah.
Top 3. Number 3, Scar and Mufasa. We're going to do a whole episode about Disney. Just you wait. Number 2, Dumbledore. We're doing a whole episode about Harry Potter. Buckle the fuck up. And the top betrayal as decided by us at Inconsistently Consistent LLC.
And objectively, the top betrayal.
Objectively, the top betrayal is Steve and Bucky till the end of the line, because Steve is a fucking liar. And that is our list.
He's a liar, and he's selfish, and he did not deserve to be Captain America with behavior like that. Justice for Bucky.
Justice for Bucky.
And hashtag Sam Wilson is a better Captain America.
Yes. Hashtag Sam Wilson for president.
The Round Brown. That's his platform.
Yes, that is his platform.
Okay, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this list.
I'm also happy with this list. I feel like this is a good list. This is a solid list. Again,
don't go full Trump though.
It's the greatest list. The greatest.
Don't do it. Don't do it. No.
I'm sorry. You said don't do it, and I had to do it.
I mean, she just started with like, I feel like this is a great list. This is a good list. It's the best list. I'm
it's
like,
the greatest,
oh, no.
The best list ever that was ever listed.
No. No. Number 1 betrayal. It's edging out Bucky right now. Rachel does Trump. Traumatizes Melanie.
No. Rephrase that. Rachel does a Trump impression.
I said what I said.
I don't like
it's there. It's on the list. I can't change it now.
Oh my god.
It's written in stone.
Oh my god. So, yes, this is our list. Like I said, we're going to dive into deep of some of these because some of these hit a nerve. We're also going to do a Marvel one because, yeah, some of these hit a nerve with us, as you can tell by our 20-minute rant about Steve Rogers.
And when we're like, we're not going to get, we said this before we started this one.
Yes.
And like a couple of days ago, at least, right?
Yeah.
When we said we should do this episode.
Yeah.
And we both knew that was going on our list. And we said, I'm pretty sure this is both going on our list.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, okay, we can't get tied up in it. We can do a whole episode about the Steve and Bucky thing after, so that we don't go into depth on this. And then what did we do? We went full tangent.
We went into depth on this.
We jumped off that train. We went free falling into that tangent.
We did indeed. Can't help it. We are very passionate about this.
We're both very loyal people. So Rachel, you don't think you're loyal very often, but
No,
you are. You're very loyal to the people you care about. Right? I know if someone screwed me over, you'd be like, I'll get them for you. Where do you want me to go? Give me an address.
The amount of times I've threatened to fight people, like, come on now.
Yeah. I know you got my back.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Definitely. Yeah.
I know that. So you are a loyal person. I'll keep saying it till you fucking believe it. But like that friendship loyalty, that like relationship loyalty, that stuff like that is where the biggest betrayals come from. That's what we've discovered here, because that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
We're teaching people.
This podcast is an educational podcast now.
Yes. This is completely serious. We've never made a joke in our lives.
Never made a joke in our lives. But yes, if you enjoy our list, let us know. You can find us on our socials. We're Inconsistent Podcast 1 on Instagram. We are Inconsistently Consistent on Facebook. You can also send us an email, which is inconsistentpodcast1@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm _RachelVR_. Melanie wrote a book.
You can find me, MelanieFlynnBooks.com. All my links are there. You can find my Instagram, everything. You can find me bitching about things on the blog. All of it. You read my book, where I didn't write a sloppy character. Not one. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Alrighty. That's all we gotta say.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.